Hey everybody, good afternoon. Yeah, it's a lot nicer than yesterday, hey? How you doing? Good afternoon. Yes, I did get rest, Mom. That's why I'm so late here. I took a nap after I slept last night. That's the way we roll. So here's a look at a much calmer Toledo Bend. Again, we had 72 mile per hour wind gusts out here at this site yesterday. Looks like a respectable day to do some fishing out there, even though we are post frontal and you might not be catching them that well. Let's take another look at a camera that was very close to a tornado yesterday. It turns out tornado passed maybe a mile north of this site, and when I was watching back the live footage, it was wild here, and we had that streaming yesterday, but just sheets of rain and wind coming in on the Leesville camera and on this one. It seems like most of that damage was confined to trees from what I'm seeing here, but there was about a 15.5 mile track from near the St. Landry community to 4 miles south of Big Cane. And here in Alexandria, we saw some power outages. We're getting those lights turned back on. The power companies are doing a great job, and we just have some stratus clouds out there, so nothing severe, nothing crazy. Here is your tornado track here. This is tornado started in the St. Landry community, which is not in St. Landry Parish if you're not from that area. It then crossed into St. Landry Parish, snapped some hardwood trees, continued southeast across Farm Road and Highway 29. Power lines were damaged near St. Louis. Trees were damaged along a line extending southeast to Highway 71, and that's about where they terminated that track, was right along 71 there, just north of Stelly. So that's one tornado track. Another big one coming in from across southeast Texas. Remember that storm we were talking about? They ended up getting an EF3 with 160 plus mile per hour winds out of that one with that damage on the storm in southeast Texas. So lots going on yesterday. We're just kind of picking up the pieces and taking a look at all this today. And there goes that large system up into the Great Lakes. Look at this thing spreading rain way up into Canada. I mean, some mixed precip on the edge, but you can see that warm air getting pulled way north into Canada. Isn't that crazy? There's a bunch of warm air in Canada and it's not snowing. Trust me, that's about to change. Every bit of the cold air in Canada and Siberia is about to come pouring down. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Winter fans, we are about to get our fun day in the sun here. 1.51 inches, that's your estimate on rainfall with the storms that came through yesterday. Most areas about a half an inch to an inch and a half. So we didn't see crazy heavy totals yesterday, but when you look at this combined with the last system, we ended up with a widespread 1 to 5 inch rain across most of the areas. Some areas seeing 6+ up there around Shreveport, maybe north of Manny, and then again out here near around Evans and Burr Ferry. So some heavy rain over the last 5 days. I'm not seeing much more of that in store for a little while. So temps right now, 57 degrees. It feels really good out there compared to where we've been. And dew points are in the mid-50s as well. So this is not the big cold push, but it's cooler, it's drier, it's more stable, and most importantly, no tornado warnings. Your wind forecast, just light and variable winds through tonight into tomorrow morning. And then we're going to see that southerly flow try to return. The thing is here, we're not going to really warm up again. We're going to see a couple of brief blips where we warm just a little bit, but again, the big story is going to be this cool down. I'm going to be talking about this a lot. So southern air, I'm looking up at that. You see the cooling part? We're not going to have to worry about that. You might need to call if your heater's busted though, because we are going to see some big time cold coming down here. 53 degrees by 10 p.m., partly cloudy skies through the evening. Could see some fog late tonight, and there still is some severe going on here, with a marginal risk from around Erie, Pennsylvania, back to just east of Indianapolis, and then down here in the Carolinas and southern Virginia. So a marginal risk for severe weather, but most of that is coming to a close with this system as it wraps up and moves out to the northeast. Over the next several days, maybe a half an inch or so of rainfall. That's going to come later this week. Here's your 7-day forecast, and then we're going to take a look into the extended. That's what I really want to talk about. 70 degrees tomorrow, perhaps. We might make it up there. If we don't, we're not going to see 70 for a long time. And again, nothing out of the ordinary here. 50s, maybe 60, something like that. Overnight lows back in the 30s and 40s. Could be some rain on Friday, maybe another round on Sunday, but beyond this, the 8 to 14 day outlook is a deep blue from January 6th to the 12th. And not only that, while we're going to be cold, we pretty much know that, we're also going to see, I think, some storm systems that are at least going to be close to the area. And this is the kind of cold that my concern might shift to it being too deep and pushing too far out into the Gulf and keeping all that moisture to our south if we want to see something wintry. So, it's way out there. There are going to be crazy model runs with this setup. Trust me, I've seen them. I'm watching them. But in looking at the ensembles, we have a high percentage, when I say high percentage, To me, if I see 10-15% of ensembles showing something close to wintry around here, I'm going to be paying attention. We're above that. I'm not even going to say how many, what the percentage is, but it's pretty solid. So cold, a little moisture in place. No, I'm not forecasting snow because, we'll see things. And let me just do a little telestrating here. I wanted to give you a little example. So we'll just jump into this. But let me take this stuff off. So a lot of times you'll see pages that are talking about a snowstorm or an ice storm potentially like in the deep south. So like that. I'm talking, I'm a much smaller area here. So I'm going to be watching for this area. I'm not, if it happens in Nashville or if it happens in Dallas, I don't consider that a good forecast. So the chance that we will see snow or ice in this giant box here in about 8 to 14 days, yeah, I think we will see it somewhere in the deep south. Will we see it here? That's the big question, and that's what I'm going to be watching for. But it does look like at the very least we are going to get very cold. So I'm talking highs in the 30s, lows teens, 20s. I mean, we're talking serious cold here. So I'm watching. I hope we see a little something. I don't want anything destructive. I don't want, the crazy hard freezes. I don't want pipes blowing up, but maybe we get a little something wintry and fun out of this as we head into January. All right, I'm going to take off right now. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Tom will be updating the 7-day here in a little bit and doing his thing. But again, I hope you did not get hit by the storms yesterday. Good to see that tornado down to our south from St. Landry toward LeBeau. Seems to have mainly impacted trees. I know there was some structural damage to some places. I did talk to my friend at the National Weather Service, and up in DeVille, they are saying straight line wind out of that one. I would guess that would be at least 75, 80 mile per hour straight line wind, which will do a lot of damage as well. I'll get all those reports out as they come in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Snow, snow, snow. That's right. I'm trying to bring it on. I'm doing my best. All right, guys. See you back here tomorrow morning.